Hello. So, weird day. Car broke down, so I'm here in this lovely rental, hence why we're at kind of an odd angle, because there's this weird thing here for the radio and all that it doesn't fold down or anything. So, yeah, yeah, just, weird day. Alright, so, this one's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure where to start with this. I'm sure most people know what it is, so I don't think I need to do the in case you haven't heard of it. So, it's another in that genre, or I don't know if the genre is the right, right word, but another of the, girl who isn't accepted by her boyfriend's family, for pick a reason. They've done a lot of these over the years. Normally it has, the overbearing mother who doesn't approve of her and all that. Like I say, it's been done a lot. But where this one comes at it from a different angle, and there have been other films that have come at it from this angle, but I think this one really handles it in a kind of very interesting and fun way. It's kind of that reverse immigration thing, of what it's like for someone from another country to come here, be raised here, and kind of feel like you're kind of a person without a country. People always see you as one thing, and you go back, and the people over there only see you as the other, and what that kind of does to a person. So it's an interesting take on the subject, and the film is entertaining enough and fun enough that you don't notice some of the cliches right away, and even when you do notice them, you don't really mind them, because you kind of understand where it's coming from, and again, taking it in a more modern light, kind of looking at it from, that new point of view and the older point of view at the same time. So that's interesting. I don't know. In a way, there's not a lot to say about this one, because it's an entertaining film. It's a good film. I enjoyed it. But when you look at it, there's a lot of things in it that you're just kind of like, okay, we know where this is going. First off, let's just kind of rattle some stuff. First of all, the cast is phenomenal. It's a really great cast, and I gotta say, and I don't want to sound too terrible here, this has got to be one of the most beautiful casts I've ever seen. I mean, these people are freaking stunning, all of them. And especially, there's this one young lady who plays the cousin of the boyfriend, and she's supposed to be like a model and all that, and damn! So this is the prettiest cast, and I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say those are some damn handsome men too. This is an attractive cast, but more so, it's a very charming cast. It's people who play their characters and fit their characters very well. The characters are likable, except for the ones that aren't, which aren't supposed to be. But our core group are likable characters, played very well. And again, if you're going to do kind of a very familiar story, one of the ways to kind of get past the familiarity of it is to have likable characters and a likable cast, and this one really does. The young lady playing the lead, Rachel Chu, is the character's name. Very charming, very lovely. The gentleman playing the boyfriend, he is a great romantic lead. He's handsome, but he has a nice guy persona. The nice guy thing doesn't seem too tacked on. He really plays it well. I got to say, though, it was very distracting for me, because I actually know someone named Rachel Chu. And anybody who knows me who's watching these probably knows who I'm talking about. So it's like every time they said Rachel Chu, I'm just like, so yeah, it was a weird thing. And of course, Michelle Yeoh's in this, and Michelle Yeoh is just phenomenal. I mean, she's awesome in everything. So, of course she's fantastic. Playing the mother, and boy howdy, she plays that bitchiness to the hilt. It is stone cold. Here's the thing, though. So cast is likable, movie's fun enough, fairly predictable, but you enjoy the ride. But here's the thing, though. As much as I liked our leads and the actors played them very well and the characters were fun enough, I don't feel like I got to know the characters very well. At least our two leads, Rachel and Nick, the names of the characters is how I refer to them. I don't feel like we got to know Rachel and Nick that much, because we kind of came into it when the movie begins, when the action starts. They're already together, they're already a couple and all that, and that's good, kept things clipping along. But I don't feel like we got a chance to meet them, see them fall in love, know who they were apart before we kind of found them together. And as such, they're kind of just blank avatars. And ironically, a lot of the smaller characters, the side characters, they felt more developed and a little bit more interesting. And almost to the point where you kind of wanted to see their story. For instance, I mentioned the cousin Astor and her husband, who was like a soldier in the army, and then somehow got involved in business and was a CEO or something, but everybody still looked down on him because he didn't come from money. And their subplot is very small. And you'd even be forgiven for forgetting about it halfway through. But their dynamic and their story almost was more interesting to me than our main characters, because I felt like we actually knew a little bit more about them. They didn't have the perfect relationship that Nick and Rachel have. So because of that, even though it was very small, their characters seemed better developed, and their story the more interesting one to follow. So I think that's kind of a problem. I also think here's something I gotta get on, because it's always bugged me. You understand that you're going to see stock characters in movies like this. You're going to have the bitchy mom and all that. You're going to have, they have the gay cousin. They have, this one and that one. One stock character I'm getting really tired of is the eccentric best friend. I mentioned this a little bit in my Spy Who Dumped Me review. Just that, that best friend who's, so funny, so sarcastic, everything's a joke, everything's, well, fuck them, you be fierce, girl. That character type is just getting tiresome. Nobody talks like that. And I don't care, I know people are going to go, I know someone who talks just like that. No, you fucking don't. Okay? And if you do, I'm sure they know when to tone it down. When a situation is serious, and they know when to tone it down. And there's a best friend like that in this one who's she's too much. She's not overplayed, and I won't say that, the character isn't funny or well written or anything like that. It's just, the character's too much. They're too much. They're too far outside the established rules of the universe that the movie sets up. And this is not just this movie, it's every movie. And they don't fucking fit. Why couldn't she have a normal best friend who's kind of funny? Why does it have to be this weird eccentric person? Why do they all need that weird, overly sarcastic eccentric person? I don't get it. It's a stock type that, it's not funny, it's annoying. And like I say, that character tiptoed up to me with Spy Who Dumped Me, but they always kind of pulled back just at the right moment. This one doesn't pull back. She's always too much. So yeah. I also got to touch on this just because this is something that, you know, it just shows the differences in culture. So, of course, when Rachel goes and meets Nick's family, of course, you know, people treat her like dirt, and they make up rude things about her, you know, and all the rich bimbos that he grew up with are mad at her and are making up rumors about her and all this shit. All I know, like there's a scene at a bachelorette party where somebody, they never show who, like leaves a dead fish in her bed with the words like, marry this, you gold digging bitch, or something like that. And all I could think at the end of the film, spoiler alert, they stay together in the end. So spoiler alert there. All I could think at the end of the film was that had that been me, you better pray Rachel Chu is a nicer person than I am. Because had that been me, it would have been, okay, I've just married the most powerful, richest motherfucker on the planet. There's going to be some vengeance dished out. Oh, you want to put fish in my bed, bitch? Okay, how'd you like the entire Red Lobster menu shoved in your house? You know, looks like I've just bought your house out from under you because, you know, I fucking can. I'm sorry, there would be some cold, hard revenge. This is why the movie is not called Crazy Rich Italians. All right? Because we don't go for that shit. You send one of us to the hospital, we send one of yours to the morgue, all right? Put a dead fish in my bed, bitch. We'll see what fucking happens when I got all the money and power in the world. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to see her just go, and of course, she's too good and too sweet and too wonderful, and of course, she ends up with the man in the end, so she doesn't need to have revenge. You know what? Sometimes you don't need to have revenge, but you fucking want it. I wanted there to be like an end credit sequence of her just like, you know, doing all these terrible things to these people. That's what I wanted. You know, but again, that's me. I'm from a different I'm cut from a different cloth. You know, it's the same basic theory I have regards to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? My response would have been, oh, so now you need a favor. I can't help but notice you were nowhere around when the other reindeer were laughing and calling me names and not letting me join in said reindeer games. Oh, but now all of a sudden everybody needs Rudolph. Well, fat man, there's some hoops you're going to be jumping through, and the first one's called venison. All right, that's me. All right. Got off on a tangent there, but, you know, yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot to talk about with this one. I think it's a decent film. I had a good time watching it. I don't know if I ever feel the need to ever watch it again. You know, because again, it's very similar to all those other films of its type. But you know, I had a good time. There's some genuine good writing. There's some very good performances and a lot of young Asian actors that you hope are gonna, you know it's gonna be hard for them because, you know, it's America, it's Hollywood. You know, they don't like anything that's, you know, not white. I'm sorry to be rude about it. So but these are some really good actors who have excellent, you know, screen presence and chemistry and a lot of upside. So I hope that we hear some of these names and we see some of these faces a lot more. I think there's a lot of young, up-and-coming talent. You know, and who knows? Hollywood's a little different now. It's starting to change slowly but surely. So I'd love to see some of these people, you know, in roles that aren't just, you know, the Asian role. You know what I mean? So I think there's some really great stuff going on here. So final grade for Crazy Rich Asians. I'm gonna say a B. Solid B. It was good. It was funny. It was entertaining, but it didn't quite do enough to kind of, you know, deal with the predictability of the storyline, the kind of cliche characters and whatnot. You know, you kind of knew how everything was going to go just from the very beginning. but good writing, good acting, a lot of good stuff going on here. So I think if you went and saw this, you wouldn't be disappointed. I don't. So yeah, so I give this one a solid B. Yeah, so short one here because again, not a whole lot to say about it. So hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.